Hi, in this video I will show you how to find cheap fares when you are in the process of booking for your travel. I will also show you a few websites that I've used to monitor for cheap fares and fare deals and sales that happens over time. The first thing you want to do is go to your flight search engine. I typically use Google Flights because it's one of the fastest flight search engines that are out there and has a lot of features that are very useful. You can also use Orbitz in Priceline and other websites, but they will typically give you similar prices. So the first search I always do first is with Google Flights. Go ahead and search for Google Flights and then click on the link to open it up. Within Google Flights, you have to put in your destination that you want to go to. So for example, I'm going to search for a flight going to Hong Kong. Now, the left side is where you want to fly from, and the right side is where you want to go to. A trick here that you can do is that under each of the side of the name of the city, you can click on the plus icon. When you click on the plus icon, it shows you the airport that it's actually searching for. So for example, in the DC area, there's 3 airports, including BWI, which is a little bit far. If you don't want BWI in your search result, you can uncheck it so that it will not show those results. You can also do the same thing for your destination, where if you actually add additional airports, you might be able to find some lower prices. Now, click on the date that you want to travel to. When you click on the date, a calendar will pop up that shows you the different flight costs for the different time that you want to travel. So this is very helpful, as you can see, based on the month, what is the cheapest fare that is available on those dates. So you can see here, for example, in December, the prices are typically a lot higher than in November because December is a holiday season. Say I want to book a trip in January. So you can see here, January, I want to go in the middle of January. I'm going to choose the 14th because the fare is a lot cheaper than on the 15th. Go ahead and click on the 14th and then choose the date you want to come back. Once again, once you click on the day you want to go, it will tell you how much is the lowest cost based on the day you want to return. So I'm going to return, say, on the Saturday. Once you click on that, you'll see that all the fares that are listed here. And these are some of the cheapest flights that are available to you. Now, the key thing you want to look at when you choose a flight is that the number of stops and how long is the layover. So say you only want to go a maximum of 1 stop. Make sure you click on the filter up top to choose up to 1 stops only as your filter. Now for the layover, you'll see that these flights here have a very long layover, 14 hours and 13 hours. Now there are 2 things you can do with layover. One is that if it's a really long layover, you can try to stay and do a layover at that city, but it's up to you. But if you want something shorter, make sure you find a flight that has a shorter layover time. So you can see here, for example, there's an Air China flight going to Hong Kong. Now notice here, notice the airport code that it's telling you it's going to. For example, this one is IAD going to Hong Kong, HKG. This one is IAD going to MFM. So if you don't know what MFM is, you can always do a search. For example, open a new tab, type in MFM, and search within Google. Type in MFM airport. You'll see that it'll tell you that it's a Macau International Airport. So if you want to go to Hong Kong, you can either find a Hong Kong or Macau, but that's up to you. Then go ahead and click on the flight and see the options that are available to you. You can see here that the flights here and the overall cost is $891, but there's a long layover here. So say you don't want this flight because the layover is too long. Go ahead and click on the next one, which you can see here there's a Korean Air here that looks to be better. The layover is only 3 hours. And the return flight, there's also a layover of only 5 hours. And of course, look through the time to make sure that it works out for you. Now the trick here is, how do you know what airline to choose if the prices are similar? One of the best ways is to see how that airline is rated with Skytrax. Skytrax is basically a website that will tell you what is the rating of a specific airline. You can go to them by open up Google and searching for Skytrax. Click on airline reviews in the link, and then you can search for those airlines. For example, earlier we've seen that Air China was one of the options. So you can see how well Air China does compared to, say, Korean Air. As you can see, Air China has an overall review score of 5/10, and it's only a 3-star airline. Let's go back and look at Korean Air. Korean Air is a 4-star airline with an overall score of 8/10, which is a lot better. So you can see here there's a difference in terms of how well each airline is reviewed and rated. Typically, 3-star airlines are airlines that are, large airlines within a large country. For example, United Airlines, American Airlines, those are all 3-star airlines within the US. Air China is a 3-star airline within China. Of course, 3-star airlines are okay, but ideally you want even better airlines that has 4-star or higher. So here, based on all the available options and what we have given so far, I would most likely choose with this flight from Korean Air. Of course, if you're not satisfied with the results, you can always click on the calendar again and see what other options are available to you. So for example, I'm going to search from the 15th going on to the 23rd. So you can see the 15th also have the Korean Air flight, but it might be a little bit more pricier. So just play around and see, what flight works best for you. Sometimes if you're flexible on your dates, you can find some pretty decent deals and some prices that are cheaper. Now, you can also use this filter here and uncheck airlines that you don't want. For example, if you don't like Air China, you can also X out Air China, meaning that now all the search results will not show Air China, including those on the calendar. You can see here that now the cheapest price for each of the dates is higher because Air China has been removed from the search. And once you find a flight you like, for example, this Korean Air right here, you can just click on it, and then at the bottom, it will give you an option to book using different websites. Now, you can book using Orbitz or, the specific airline website themselves. And that's it. That's pretty much how you would find flights to book. You can also use Orbitz.com and search for it that way to see what other options pop up. But typically, Google Flights will give you pretty much most of the main options that are available for you to book. Now, another thing that you can do is, if you see a flight that you like and you're not ready to book and you want to see if the price will go lower or higher, during the week, you can monitor the flights using Google Flights. So for example, say I'm interested in this Korean Air flight for $1,089. I can go ahead and click through it, and then scrolling at the bottom, you can click Save this itinerary. When you click on Save, Google Flight will actually track the flights. Make sure you log into your Google account. And once they've tracked that flight, whenever you go back to Google Flight, they will actually tell you what the current price of that flight is. And they'll tell you if it's increased or decreased over time. So keep that in mind. Normally when I book a flight, I will look for the prices for that flight around for a week period of time, a week or 2 weeks. I would kind of monitor and see if the price fluctuate up or down or not. Sometimes if you book really way in advance, most of the time the prices will not fluctuate that much, but later on it might. So keep an eye on it, and you can determine if that's the amount you want to book it at or not, or you want to wait till it goes a little lower. Keep in mind for the holiday seasons, typically prices will not go down, whereas if it's during an off-peak time period, then prices could fluctuate quite a bit. Now, some things to keep in mind is that certain airlines do not list their price within the Google Flights search engine or any other search engine such as Orbitz or Priceline.com. You have to go to their actual website to book the actual fare to see how much it costs. An example is, for example, in the US, Southwest.com is a budget airline that does not list their prices on any search engine. You actually have to go to their actual website. But you actually see the flights on Google Flights, but you just cannot see the price. So for example, if I'm searching from Washington going to New Orleans, right? You can see that there's a list of a lot of different prices. Now, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it'll tell you these are the flights available from Southwest, but you don't know the actual price. So the good thing is that you have to go to the website itself, southwest.com, to search for the actual cost of the fare. So don't forget to search on those websites because sometimes those prices could be lower than what Google Flights will show you. This is also the same for a lot of airlines within Asia or when you travel internationally. For example, AirAsia is a budget airline within Asia, and they don't list their fares within Google Flights or any other website. You have to go to airasia.com to actually search for those flights. So don't forget to do that before you finalize and choose the flight that you want. In this video, I will show you two different websites that I frequently use to look for flight deals. Now, the difference between these websites and other deals websites is that the deals that are displayed is actually posted manually by people, and they actually search for those flights to make sure that they are legit. This is not a site that actually just show you, computer-generated deals that you typically find on kayak.com or priceline.com. You can use those other websites too, but I like these two websites because whatever is posted is typically a great deal. The first one is called the Flight Deals. You can search for it using Google. This website will show you fares that are on sale from specific city. Once you go to theflightdeal.com, click on this upper tab right here and choose the city that you want to travel from. Say you live in the DC area, you click on Washington DC. And then I would just bookmark this website and then just take a look at it, once in a while or every day, depending on how much you want to look for it. So you can see here, going to this website, it will show you what the current deals are right now. So for example, today, there's a deal going to Los Angeles for $225 on Virgin America. You can click on it, and it will actually tell you the deals, the dates that are valid, and how to search for it. So I like it because these deals that are posted are typically bookable, like meaning there's good availability. It's not something that they just give it to you and it doesn't work. Now do note the date that the deal has listed for. Typically a lot of it is on sale. So if the date isn't too long ago, those deals might not be there anymore. So if the deal looks like it's a few days old, it might not be bookable anymore. So I would keep an eye on this site, every day or every 2 days and see if there's anything good that you want to do. Another website that you can go to is called secretflying.com. Now this website will give you deals from different locations. So for example, if you go to secretflying.com, it would tell you if you want deals from USA or from Europe. I would click on USA if you live in the US, and then just bookmark this site. Now unlike the flight deals, this will give you deals from all the major cities within the US. So for example, like right now there's a deal from Los Angeles to San Jose, Costa Rica. Of course, if you live in DC, then this deal doesn't apply to you. So this one is not catered towards a specific city. So a lot of these deals might not be relevant for you, but at least you know that these deals do exist. So and that they are good deals. All right, that's pretty much the two main websites that I typically use to keep an eye on the deals. And I hope that you find it helpful. You can bookmark it for yourself and find out whenever there's a cheap fare going on that you can book. Hope you enjoy it, and please share with your family and friends. Thank you.